I've written previously about Jesus and about Buddha. In the case of Jesus, all Christians believe that Jesus is the Son of God. He's divine. He's born of a virgin. The only other person who was not born out of a woman through sexual intercourse was Adam, created by God before that. So, Jesus is exalted, divine. Buddha says himself, I'm enlightened, and says, I can show you the way. Muhammad is more like us. He's a totally regular guy. He's married. He has four daughters. He has been grief-stricken because he's lost two boys in infancy. He has no ambitions of being a prophet. And suddenly, in a cave, the angel Gabriel calls out to him and says, recite in the name of the Lord who created human life from congealed blood. I ask you to recite. Recite in the name of the one who wants to give you knowledge that was not given to mankind before. Here's an illiterate person who doesn't know how to read and write, and he starts to recite. And some of what comes out of him is revelation of the best that you can call spiritual literature. How is it that an ordinary man with a very ordinary nervous system can suddenly download what seems to be universal intelligence? All religions are based on this idea that there's a transcendent realm which is beyond space and time, that's divine, that there is the interconnectedness of all existence, and there are certain ethical values that emerge as a result of this experience. And he confirms that for us. So to me, this was more about the awe of revelation in a man who did not claim to be of divine origin. He said, I'm a man amongst men. Everything good in life comes from God, and everything else I take the responsibility for. That's a major statement that any leader in our time could use. So this book was an adventure story. Muhammad has contradictions, he has paradox, he has some things that we look in his life that are not so comfortable. But our yearning for the divine is such that we always lag behind. In our yearning is stronger than our ability to reach that level of consciousness. So it's a struggle. And I can relate to Muhammad, because we all struggle.
What do you think is the role of the New York Open Center?
The New York Center has given me a forum ever since I started my career. It was one of the first places where I started to speak. I'm very grateful for this opportunity, and I feel a lot of allegiance to the New York Open Center. The New York Open Center is one of the few places that actually does encourage a holistic approach to life, to our understanding of ourselves, and even to a holistic form of healing, if you will. And the word holistic includes all-inclusive, which is always what the Open Center has been. The very name, Open Center, means all-inclusive. The word holy, the word holism, the word health, the word healing are all the same word. Health is a return to the memory of wholeness, of who we really are. And I think the New York Center has played a pioneering role in this, will continue to play a pioneering role, and count on my allegiance to continue to participate with them in this understanding of wholeness, which is moved within science also, because science has been a reductionist methodology, and now even science is realizing to separate the observer from the observed, to have this artificial subject-object split is a form of science that can lead to diabolical technologies. The atomic bomb, nuclear warfare, biological warfare, internet hacking, you name it, we can do it all now because of science, because science has not been holistic. I think that'll be the next phase, that, you know, as we embark on a secular spirituality, which is holistic, we invite holistic economics, holistic science, holistic health, all of that.
How has this changed or influenced your personal life?
My personal life has certainly been affected. You know, I was recently in a Buddhist monastery and I ordained as a Buddhist monk, and the abbot asked me a very interesting question. He said, you know a lot about spirituality, you've written a lot about spirituality, you talk about the quantum physics of consciousness, how has it changed your life? Because if it hasn't, then what's the point, right? So I would say it has changed my life in that I'm more present, I'm clear, I know what my priorities are, I feel more connected to the mystery that we all come from. I have more love and compassion in my life, and I am less personally ambitious. Now it turns out that I am successful, but I'm not going to apologize for that. But deep inside of me, that's not a motive. Deep inside of me, that's not a motivation for what I do now. My motivation is, how can I serve? How can I help? How can I foster dialogue? How can I be a bridge between different faiths? But also, how can I be a bridge between cutting-edge science and the evolution of spirituality that goes beyond, say, traditional dogma and ideology that has become part of many organized religions.
Do you feel that there's a overarching way to approach, for an ordinary person, to approach the presence and attack and challenge of evil, or does it really depend on the circumstance?
I think it is a very challenging time. At the same time, because of communication, because of the internet, because of the fact that our conversation can be seen by anyone in the whole world, we have the opportunity to reach critical mass of world consciousness and say, been there, done that. You can't fight evil with evil. You can't fight darkness with darkness. Let's bring in the light. And we can look at all the great traditions of the world, all the great wisdom traditions of the world, see the unifying principles, see what makes sense, and evolve. Our spirituality needs to evolve because we are evolving, the universe is evolving, and this is the time to think in terms of creativity, rather than right versus wrong, or who's right and who's wrong, or the fight between good and evil. We have to find creative solutions for all problems. Einstein once said, no problem, and I'm paraphrasing, no problem can be solved at the level of consciousness at which the problem was created. So we need to move to a new level of consciousness, and that's what we're going to do.